Hello and welcome to another video. This one is a walkthrough commentary video of my V-Rising crafting castle, which is centered in Dunley, all the way over here in this area. And yeah, I'd like to show you guys around. I've showed this castle before on my channel. But first I'm going to go around the outside now that I've decorated it. I've gone through great lengths to decorate this castle. It wasn't an easy decoration in the sense that I needed it to still fulfill its purpose without being so cluttered or so dysfunctional that I would not be able to have the same level of quality when it comes to crafting, ease of access. I just wanted the castle to make sense. So when I initially set it up, and I have everything like set up like with these crafting chests here, the chests are all set up in a specific way so that I can easily grab what I need all in one place and then just go throughout the bottom floor of the castle for pretty much all of my crafting. So ease of access and things like trying to optimize, that was the word I was trying to find, optimize my crafting in general was a huge part of this castle. So once I found a foundation that I really liked as far as the setup, which you guys saw in my previous video on this castle, once all of that was pretty much ironed in and all the kinks were figured out and, you know, I was satisfied and happy with what I had, that's when I started decorating this castle. I've been decorating this castle for several sessions. I believe it took me 7 streams to finish up this castle finally. And I'm really happy with how it came out. I think that it's probably one of my, I don't know if it's like one of my best achievements, but it's definitely my best garden in the castle. So I'm just gonna go over some of it. Let's start at the bottom floor here. So if you go to the right, I'm just gonna go counterclockwise. So if we go to right here, we have some stuff for empty containers. So things like, you know, glass bottles, things like empty canisters, and what I like to call pokeballs or dust collars. Then we have, you know, empty water skins and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of alchemy stuff in here, but also stuff like the EMP and things that are not as commonly used per se. So like for the dust collar, it's really rare that I find, you know, a unit out there that's like just what I'm looking for. But you best believe I'm going to be going on a hunt soon to look for more spell casting or scholars, because I only have one 100% scholar in all, you know, throughout my 3 castles on this server. So that's kind of like the best I'm working with right now, but that's okay. I also have my drugs and bombs. I realized last time when I went through my castle and I explained my method, I didn't actually talk about what's in the chests. So I think I'm going to take the time to do that now, just to, you know, familiarize you guys with my castle, just kind of, you know, it's something I do have a little bit of pride in, I guess, so I guess I might as well share it. So here I have drugs and bombs. It's exactly what you think. It's potions and bombs, and I do have some empty water skins here. These shouldn't be here. But I think what I will do is I'll just put them here. I think I ran out of space in this thing at one point, and then I figured I could put some here, which is fine. If anything is out of place, it's usually pretty close to the chest that it should be in, so it's never like really a huge problem finding it. So this box here needs sorting. This is basically like, let's say I go and raid a village and I come back and I want to just dump everything and then go out and do something else that maybe is time sensitive. So like, let's say I have blood moon and I don't want to waste my blood moon. I might just dump stuff in this chest. This is a temporary holding chest, so this chest is kind of also like needs sorting, but the difference is that if I have an item that I don't want to store at this castle, it would be here temporarily being held. It looks like I didn't really follow that rule the last time I used the chest, probably because I was in a rush or something, but that is totally fine. and I'll make sure to make that adjustment and fix that later. This chest right here just has stone bodies. The reason why I have a single chest of just stone bodies is because you can only stack 50 at a time in one stack, on my server at least. That's not typical of most servers and default settings, I don't think, but for me 50 isn't enough, because if I'm, you know, decorating all these different castles and stuff, I definitely need time to work on it. And I've also gotten permission from some of my clan members to also decorate their homes. So once I get everything all sorted out, I'll definitely be coming back with a plan as far as what I'm doing for all their castles as well. I also have this one here. This chest is just for outfits. I keep all my outfits and cool things in here. Here I have my ancestral weapons, so anything that is not, you know, a weapon I can use, just fragments of a weapon, they all go here, regardless of how I obtain them. Plants are just plants. The reason why this chest is so empty right now is because I just recently emptied it and went over to my second castle, which is the castle that you guys might remember from a previous video where, it's basically like my horse castle where I keep all my horses and stuff like that. So it's also my storage castle. So there's that. I'm gonna go through here and go over some of these chests. So of course we have the castle heart right here. I didn't really have a good spot to put the castle heart, so I just kind of kept it in the front of the castle, and I ultimately didn't change where it was because it just didn't make sense to me to do so. And I'm also pretty happy with how this teleporter is like right here and relatively out of the way of like these chests and things like that. Like, it's not blocking anything, so it's a good spot. Here for BE, it's just blood essence. Here I have greater blood essence, and then here I have primal blood essence, so it's exactly what you think it is. In the wood section, I have some sawdust. If I overspill the sawdust here, I would put the sawdust in another chest for paper, just because there's nothing else currently you can craft it into, so that's kind of like what's gone through my head as far as this setup. Oh, and you also have things like the barrel disguise. Technically, the barrel disguise should be in outfits, but because it's something that I just thought was fun to use, I just made a few, and I'll probably be doing some crazy shenanigans with it later. Who knows, maybe like a TikTok video or something. For the shiny rocks here, of course, it is the shiniest of gems and all that cool stuff. So I have all of my gems in here. I have my all of my stuff kind of color coded. These two are overspills, so what I would do with these is I would bring them over to my jewelry area and just have them processed. Same thing with this little green one that shouldn't be there. So it's been a while since I've gone through all of my chests and tried to like reorganize, but it's definitely been pretty good. And over time I tend to use up my my flawless gems just for the sake of making weapons and things like that. So I'm just gonna move on. Here we have rocks and bones, so stone dust, stone bricks. I considered sulfur to be in this category because of, not so much because of the fact that you can, how do I say this? It's something that isn't quite, like, it's not like a metal, if that makes sense. So I didn't think it made sense to go into like ore, because it's not like you're smelting it to make sulfur ingots, right? So I put it here in the rocks and bones because when you process the sulfur through the furnaces upstairs, which I'll show you guys later, it gives you like those like mounds of just sulfur, right? So what I did is I took the sulfur ore and I just kind of, you know, and here's the thing, I know it's called sulfur ore and, you know, stuff like that, but because it, like, once you process it and it looks like this, and you can't like process it by itself to like really make anything, but the fact that like it would just kind of turn into like one of these piles. This is spectral dust, of course. Like, in my mind, because it's a pile of dust, it has to be in the stone area. Just conceptually, for me, it was just easier that way. A lot of people would put in the ore and metal section. That's totally fine. I mean, I don't blame people for that, obviously. I also have clay, and I have the reason why the spectral dust is here is because that comes from the crystals, which you grind up. And then you have the stone bricks, which I use for crafting, and then the bones. Notice that pretty much everything in this category gets processed here in the workshop, minus the sulfur ore. But you know, I had so many things in the irons and ores that I was just like, you know what, I think sulfur is a little bit different in the sense that, you know, like I said, the piles. But I'm not gonna keep going over that. I think you guys get it. Furs and oils. So I have furs, oils, slime, where I have exactly what it sounds like, fur, oil, and slime. The sludge-filled canisters that go here, the mutant grease would go here, things to that nature. Anything that is like processed or whatever would go through that, would go in here. I haven't had the chance to go get much thick hides recently. I've just been kind of busy, so I have a little bit of a pile here of oil. But oil can also be used, I believe, to make fire potions. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm trying to remember, but I believe they're used for fire resistance potions. I'd have to check, but I mean, don't quote me, but you use them for something other than leather sometimes, and you know, that's cool. Then here we have the tailor section, where we have any kind of carpet rolls, yarn, thread, silk, cloth, anything that can be used as you know, some kind of fabric of some sort or used in fabric making would all go here. Even the silkworms and even the cotton. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't I put cotton in plants? I do put cotton in plants if I if for some reason I have like an overflow in my plant section, which I just emptied now, so that was kind of the case earlier. So I could just put it here in plants, sure, but it also makes sense to put it here with like the tailored stuff, in the sense that it can only turn into one thing. It's not like I can take cotton and make some other thing other than cotton yarn. So once I process those things, then it would just be here as cotton yarn as well. Here I have the seeds. These are all the seeds I currently have right now in my inventory. I also have a little bit of a spillover of plants, it looks like, in here. Normally I wouldn't put plants in here, but if it overflows and I don't, you know, empty it again, that's, you know, I need somewhere to put it. So it's never too far away from its correct destination. That's kind of like been the crucial thing with this castle. So yeah, I have some different seeds here. I got, I'm actually working on a seeds video. By the time you see this video, that one might actually be out, or it might be almost done and almost out soon. I've been working on it for a while, but it's kind of taking me some time just because I want to make sure I get the research right. I'm not trying to give information that like someone in the comments is going to be like, oh my god, you know, it's not, that's incorrect because XYZ. I want it to be correct at the time of release, if that makes sense. So I'm working on it, so you guys keep your eyes peeled for that. And even so, even if I do make a mistake, I want to keep it to a minimum. So here's the sulfur. This is what I was talking about, where I have like the piles of sulfur, but you see here I have so much like metals and stuff going on here that I could put this over in the other pile. Sulfur is kind of like that weird thing where like I never really know where to put it. Like, do I put it in stones or do I put it in iron and ore? Most people would say ore because, you know, you farm out sulfur ore and then you turn it into sulfur. But I mean, I don't know. To me, it really doesn't make much of a difference. So it's whatever. Yeah, I have quartz here. I have some copper ingots. I need to process this quartz, make some glass, and then notice that the glass is really close to the alchemy area because I can make glass from here. So nothing is ever too far. That's part of the reason why I put the ores and melts here, because I also have my, you know, I have my furnace upstairs, which I use this teleport pad here to get to. So on the other side here, I have paper. I have pretty much all the types of paper. Eventually I want this all to be schematics, and once this whole chest becomes schematics, that's when I take it and I move it over to my second castle for storage. Here I have fish and rats. Any kind of fish that I cannot feed to prisoners will go here. Rats go here. I take about half my rats and put them here. I know I can feed them to the prisoners, but I mean, I'm milking them so much for blood that it's really not it doesn't make sense for me to feed them rats sometimes. So whatever rats I have left, I put here so that I can use that for alchemy purposes. On the right here, I have some stuff here for my workshop. I got my woodworking bench nice in the corner. I got this tucked in real nice here. I have another cool thing is that I put specific wallpaper here that makes it look like I have additional drawers above the woodworking bench. I thought that was a nice detail. I did not include that on the other walls if you noticed that, so I just thought that was a cool thing to mention. I have my 2 sawmills side by side, squished into this corner as much as I could, and then I have 3 grinders. I find that I don't really need more than 3 grinders at a time. I could have put a 4th here, but I felt like it was a bit claustrophobic, so I just ultimately decided not to do that. I had no real purpose in doing that. So I felt, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Here I have my smithy, my anvil, my simple workbench, my fabricator, and my ancestral forge. All of these different working or crafting stations are, you know, pretty much meant for making weapons and things like that, except for the simple workbench that, you know, early on you can make like early level gear and jewelry and stuff like that. It's kind of like a multi-purpose early level bench. But I like to have access to all these things in my castle, because even though I'm like max level and I have everything, I want others in my clan to be able to use them so that, you know, they don't feel like they're missing out on the experience of starting from the bottom and working your way up. I want to at least offer them that opportunity or that option. So yeah, this teleport pad is going to take us to the 2nd floor. Now you're probably wondering, why am I hopping to the 2nd floor? I didn't even show the whole 1st floor. Well, the reason why is because this teleport pad is specific to, you know, just for the purposes of smelting. So I have my furnaces, I have all my stuff in here. Pretty much all these furnaces have a bunch of stuff in them that, you know, I just kind of organize it based on. So I don't actually label the furnaces. Maybe I should. But I kind of have it memorized, so like for me it's not really a big deal. I have my iron, I have my quartz, I got my whetstones turning into scorch stones, I got my the place where I used to make radium alloy, and then here I have my dark silver ingot making. And I'm gonna go back to the 1st floor. Also, oh, if you notice, some of my servants, I was going to talk about this later, but some of my servants are actually named after viewers or by viewers. So if you guys ever stop by in my live stream and you want to become a servant, you definitely can. Just throwing that out there. I'm going to go all the way here to the outside here. Notice I have this nice little white carpet area or rug area. I decided to use a white rug for, a white carpet for like just keeping the accents all just kind of nice, and because like here's the thing, like the walls are like a dark brown, so I thought, well, if I have the floor brown as well, I need some white to make something pop here. And I didn't also want to change the thematic coloring of the main parts of the castle that are not associated with any kind of specific crafting station. So if you notice, the crafting rooms are all a certain color based on whatever. So like alchemy is green, you know, weapon making is red, tailoring is purple, things like that. So I just recently finished decorating this castle, so when I was working on it, I had some ideas for the outside. The whole 1st floor is just covered in like roses on the outside, so it's definitely really cool. As far as the harnessing of power here, unfortunately I couldn't fit 3 in this space, so my one that's like the monster one, like the soul shard of the monster, or I think you know, the one that drops from Adam, I actually have at my Gloomrot castle because it wouldn't fit, so unfortunately I couldn't keep it at this castle. Here I have my little makeshift graveyard. I have a doorway that goes directly into the home if I want to. I make sure to put servant locks on the outside because I don't want servants killing these guys while I'm not around to collect. And I also don't want my servants dying for no reason, because every time they die, their percentage stats are like re-rolled. I mean, they stay within a certain percentage range, but I'd rather not have that going on for no reason. And also, it cost me blood essence to revive them, so I'd rather use that for my castle's heart instead. So, and then we have here the servant's gear. So any kind of extra gear that I make in preparation for other castles or extra gear that I have, this is all the spare gear that, you know, would go to servants. Right now I've been slowly in the process of gearing up servants at my clan members' castles, so that's why I have some weapons and jewelry here. Here I have my crafting wine. It's completely empty. I have to go look for some unfortunate souls to suck dry. So I have 3 things for like crafting wine, 3 different chests. But notice they're kind of like out of the way, and you're probably wondering, why do I have crafting wine here on the first floor? Well, it's because you need crafting wine here to make certain items as well. So I like to have it, you know, with ease of access. I'll go over this yellow teleporter in a second, though. Well, actually, I'm going to ignore the yellow teleporter for now. This is the tailoring, crafting, and tannery kind of stuff. Any leather working or fabric working goes in here. I put like a little chandelier here just to add a little pop of light. I thought that the full purple, not having purple in this corner, just kind of looked kind of weird because there was no like extra lighting. So I just decided to add a nice little chandelier to spill the light into this mini hallway here. I put like a little, you know, a couple of little tables, side tables here. And oh, I better eat something. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. So now that I've gotten some blood, let's continue our tour. Here is my jewelry room, jewel crafting. So any kind of jewel making would go in here. I do have these boxes as my jewelry boxes, just to hold in any kind of jewelry. I need to rename some of these and go through the process of that, but for now this is where I keep all my jewels. The reason why I don't keep them in any chests over here is because there just simply isn't enough space, and I don't want to just throw away good gems if I don't have to, so I just make my little cubby area here in order to facilitate several gems, which I haven't really made lately. I also have my gen cunning tables, so remember earlier when I said that the extra spillover gems would go in here? That's exactly what I would do, is I would take the finished ones and then swap them out for the unfinished ones, and then eventually I'll have enough and then I could process them into bigger and better gems. So yeah, so that's been really cool. Then in the inside, I'm going to go through the inner part here of my castle on the first floor, where I have my paper presses, and on the left I have one where I turn the sawdust into that kind of paper, and then I turn the paper into scrolls, and then this last one is where I would process everything into schematics. So that's kind of been my method, is that the final round of processing is always on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side I have my initial intake of sawdust and things like that. On this side here, where I have my alchemy room, I have a little blue teleport. I'll be using that soon just to show you guys where that leads you. I have my little alchemy table here in the corner. I have a door that leads straight into crafting for weapons, and then I have, you know, another door that goes here, and then it's also fairly close to the jewelry chamber if I go this way along my path. And then of course I can, you know, I have ease of access when entering here to get whatever materials I still need. And of course I have my little blood press. If I take the teleporter, it just leads me to the top of the staircase here. I mean, I'll show you guys what it looks like at the top of the staircase. So the staircase would go up, and then the second floor is probably one of the more unique things I've done in a castle, in the sense that it's kind of an open air area. So something I discovered while making this castle is that if you take your plots, right, like if you take your small like planting squares and you place them and then you grow plants on them, the plants for some reason glitch upward and they just elevate themselves. So if you have a nice planter placed and you place that, it looks like the thing that you planted is coming out of the planter, which is actually really cool, and I kind of hope they don't fix that bug, to be honest with you. I don't think it's intentional, but it's a happy accident. And if anything, it's more of a feature than a bug, in my opinion. But yeah, that's what I've done with all these planters. You can use any planter or vase to do that with. You also have these statues and, you know, stuff like that. They're all facing forward. The reason why is because the entrance to the castle is over this way. I have on the second floor, I used, I don't know if it's pronounced morass or morass, but whatever that wall covering plant vegetation is, that's what I used here on the second floor as opposed to the roses on the first floor. So yeah, we have columns where the outside of the columns are just covered in vegetation and the insides are not. They just have lights. And from the outside, it actually looks pretty cool. Here I have my little bug room, I guess you could say, where I keep all of my materials for, you know, basically attracting bugs and other pests and vermin and things like that into this particular space. Right now I have some mosquitoes because I needed some thick hides, or actually I think they give pristine hides. I don't remember what it was now, but I forgot why I summoned these guys. But yeah, so this is basically my room here that I keep closed, and the reason why I lock it from servants is because I don't want them going in there killing things while I'm not around to collect. This is a live server, so that would happen while I'm gone, unfortunately. Here on this side I have my treasury, I guess you could say. So this container eventually is going to be purposed into the bronze stuff. Hazmat is silver, and by the way, the gold is also it's also kind of potent. Like if you pick up if I pick up gold and it's not in a coin purse, I do take, like, you know, silver sickness going on there. So technically it is hazmat. And then this third one, you know, right now I have copper, but I do need to reorganize these chests a little bit. So basically my treasury is like right here. One of my favorite rooms in the castle is this milking room. It feels more like a farm in here than it does anything else, which is kind of hilarious. But if I were to, oh, I didn't mean to do that. If I were to switch to my little thing here, you can see that all of my captured specimens are 100% blood, which is, I mean, this took me months to acquire and to create. And some of these guys I naturally found really high up and then was able to use some food to get them to 100%, but most of them did turn into mutants, so I had to, it took me a while to get to this point. Then I have my scholar blood, my rogue blood, my brute blood, my warrior blood, so I have so much blood reserves here. You know, anyone can easily just go in and get what they need. At least, you know, my clan members, they all have access to this, so it's not a worry. Here I have my prison food, so I keep things like I said earlier, like the rats and the fish, and then I also have sacred grapes up here. The reason why is because I need that to make the crafting wine. So there's that. I also have my roses here, glitched to the sky, looking really good. It's crazy how natural, like, this looks, like as if it's actually growing out of the plant, when this pot here is actually empty. There's no plant I placed in the pot, so it's kind of crazy. I added some little fur carpet things here, little fur rugs. So if I ever want to sit out here, if I'm ever able to sit here, I can just sit down and keep my feet warm and toasty despite the nice cool breeze coming in through the area here. But yeah, I wanted the second floor to feel like open and breezy, even though there was a lot of stuff in it. So here we already went through the furnace room, and of course I have like these cool windows that kind of lead to that side. I have more roses. Alright, so on the left side here of the pest room, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to call this room here. I have like a bunch of, you know, plants and things, and then I, of course, I have another table here so someone can sit here and just be cozy. And then I have a little sitting bench, which hopefully one day I'll be able to sit in, who knows. It looks like I keep bringing that up, but the devs have actually come out and with an update and showed, you know, a picture of a vampire setting, so it's on its way, guys, don't worry. I decided to put some planters here and a couple of braziers just to make sure that there's enough lighting in this area. I felt like this area was kind of dark and I didn't really know what I wanted to put here. I didn't really want to put like a fountain or anything, so I decided to put some planters in a row, and I think it kind of adds to that like outdoorsy nature-y feel of the castle. Then of course I have my little mirror here. But yeah, the second floor, it's definitely looking pretty good. So if I go upstairs, right, this little hallway area is probably one of my favorite areas of the castle, just like going up in here, because I really wanted there to be like a shift in lighting and a shift in mood going up the stairs. So like if you notice here, you know, you have the whites and the neutral colors just like downstairs, but the mood is different because it's you know, it's a lot darker in this hallway than it is in some of the other areas of the castle, which I think is kind of cool. So let's start off here. I have my little fireplace area, which I really like. I keep my little roses here. I decided to put some castle wall vegetation on the inside of this particular part just because this is the third floor of the castle and I wanted this to be a garden, so I wanted the feel of a garden to be consistent throughout. Also, if I have this door open and I'm coming from the hallway, you can see how bright that is. That fireplace looks so good. So I like to keep that there. I'm gonna go clockwise this time on this floor. I have my little rose garden here with a pathway into there. Hopefully my servants don't crush my flowers, but so far so good. And I think that the red contrast against the blue pond here, or sorry, the blue fountain here looks so good. And I think, you know, I don't know, I'm pretty happy with this. And I, of course, have a mist brazier here because, well, I'm a vampire and I need that from time to time just to stand out here. I also have some cypress trees all lined up here with some sunflowers. Now, the sunflowers, I could remove them and just, you know, because before I had planters here, right? But then I removed the planters and then I killed the flowers. And the odd thing is that it looks like the flowers actually grew back in the original position. So what I'll have to do is take them apart and then place them back. But that is okay. That's not, you know, to me, it's not really a big deal. If I go here, I have, well, actually, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. If I go here, I have a little eating area, a little chatting area, kind of like a private little nook where you can sit here, talk to a friend, read a book, or whatever vampires like to do in their free time. And then I have my little thing here of shrooms. My goal for this particular castle is I wanted to have at least one of each kind of plant displayed somewhere up here in this garden area. I think the only thing we don't see up here is maybe the trippy shrooms, but to be fair, the seeds for those are really hard to get and I just didn't feel like adding them to my castle. I have a whole other purpose for them over at my Gloomrock castle, so the trippy shrooms are the only thing I don't have up here, but I have every kind of tree. I have my I think this is the Curse Forest tree and I think this is the Gloomrot tree, and then I have it. I could have them reversed, but then I also have my my oak tree here. Then I have the birch trees. I have I think this is spring. Is this spring or autumn? I think this is autumn, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say this is autumn and this is spring, but whatever, the combination doesn't matter. Here I have like a nice little apple tree just chilling. Oh, sorry. I meant this one. This one. Or is it that one? Yeah, it is this one. So this one in the center is an apple tree. And then, of course, I have my aspen trees. I have my autumn aspen and my spring aspen trees. I think this is I want to say this is spring and autumn birch on the right and left. But, you know, don't quote me. I'm not super, I don't remember the trees off the top of my head. But, yeah, I have a little variety of plants here. I have my little plague breeders. So the idea is that if I ever need any kind of plant, I can pretty much get it at this castle. I don't have to go elsewhere. It's all here and it looks nice. And then of course I have my little sacred grapes here. These were kind of hard to get as well, but once I obtained them, it looks so good. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. And of course, on the ground here, if you notice, I have like I decided to go with like a kind of like mossy pathway look, and then I added like a carpet on top just to kind of create more of a contrast between the path and its surroundings, because I felt like it blended in too much and didn't really show like the distinction between where it ends and where it starts, at least when I was working on it. Here I have my cherry blossom, and here on the cherry blossom trees I have my fire flowers, and then here I have my snow flowers. There's fire blossoms and snow, God, I can't even think right now. You know what I mean. So fire and ice, and then here on the ice side I have my white cherry blossom. So I was kind of going for like a fire and ice look, where this side was like a lot brighter and this side's a lot cooler, and I think it actually looks pretty good. And of course I have like some trellises, or I don't know if there's like a plural word for trellis, but I have a bunch of them over here so that when the daytime comes, I'm not getting absolutely wrecked. If I go up into the sky from here, I'll just kind of show you guys what the aerial view looks like of this garden, and I think honestly it just looks great. Is there anything I would change? Probably not. I think I'm pretty satisfied with what I have here. But yeah, this definitely looks good. And then we have our very last room. Remember that yellow teleporter that I ignored earlier? This is the room where on the door I have a servant lock, so that if I ever want to summon all my servants and collect things from them, I could do that without them escaping. Here I also have my coffin where I sleep, coffin where my best friend sleeps, and then I have all the servant coffins lining throughout here. And then of course here would be my command center, aka the royal throne. But yeah, thanks for coming along with me and checking out this castle. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I look forward to working on other castles. And of course here we have the yellow teleporter, which would bring us back to the first floor. So if I wanted to leave and go somewhere, I can just boom and I'm just done. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'll be posting another video of just a walkthrough without commentary, either before or after this one. But regardless, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Xolo out.